Hello everybody, welcome to the channel and a happy new year. I thought I'd start the year off by basically giving you a little tour of the hobby room where I kind of do all my painting and modelling and hobbying, and it's in the room behind me, okay? And so give you a little look round. So I'll go in there for a moment and take a look, and it just feels like a good way to kind of start off the year. Show you some new projects, show you everything I've been doing over the last few years. Most of the stuff you'll see is stuff that's already on the channel somewhere, so you can take a look back through and have a look at some of the stuff that is in some of the boxes. So without any further ado, I'm going to take you in there and we'll have a little look around, shall we? Okay, here's the door, entrance to my room, my little den where the magic happens. Well, not so much magic as accident half the time, but yeah, so I leave it closed all the time because we've got 3 cats. Sometimes they get in there, sometimes they make a bit of a mess, sometimes they jump on the windowsill and they smash some of the stuff up on the way up there. So try to keep it closed all the time. I'm literally the only person who does. Anybody else who wanders in here just leaves the door open, despite me saying several times. Okay, so what have we got? So first thing that meets us as we go straight in is the boxes and boxes of painted, partially painted and assembled armies, and as you can see they go all the way up to the ceiling. Lots of really useful boxes. I've tried to be as organised as I can with these. I'm a reasonably organised person. Sometimes it kind of gets away from me a little bit. Good old exercise bike there sitting in the corner. It's used sometimes, not very often, but occasionally. So let's have a look through what we've got in the boxes. So just close the door behind me, give me a little bit more space, and then I'll take you around the rest of the room in a moment. So I tend to use different types of really useful boxes. For the smaller armies that I've got, the more skirmish games, what I've got in here, bolt action. So I've got a lot of Americans in there, and underneath as well are all my bolt action vehicles for my American army. Okay, if I take you up to the top, I've tried to kind of label everything now because I was getting kind of confused as to what I'd got, and I was kind of having to drag everything out just to look for one box. So we've got English Civil War, Age of Sigmar, Italian Wars, Old World, Wars of the Roses, English Civil War, and at the top we've got my Salamanders 40k army. Okay, on the other side at the top is a project that I'm working on at the minute, which is my Greeks and Persians, and then above that are my Romano British and my early Saxons. So they're kind of at the top because I want to get them down probably later on today or tomorrow and do a bit more work on them. But we've got more Wars of the Roses. We've got what we've got in there, more Wars of the Roses, and then we've got my Napoleonic Austrians army, and then more Austrians in the second round. So I've only got 2 boxes of Austrians at the minute, but I'm going to try and add a Bavarian army to them. Here's some Tamiya. What are they? 135th. Okay, started to paint these up, copying Steve off the Plastic Crap podcast, and I didn't get very far. I think I've assembled 2 of them so far, but I will complete those. I do like them, they're pretty good. So I've got Germans and Americans. What else we got? So on the other side, this is just a pile of stuff. There's some resin tanks in there, okay, some printed tanks. Bottom we got a load of skeletons. Steve might recognise some of these. This is a Warlords of Erewhon undead army, and then above that we've got Necrons for Warhammer. Okay, they're all in there. Above that I think there's some unpainted stuff, so I think I've got some, you can probably see better than me if I hold this up. There we go, some Victrix French at the top, unpainted, so that's a bit of a wall of shame on that side. But the other side that I've just gone through, all of these are painted. These are all full of completed figures, not completed armies. You never finish an army. Then move along a little bit further, more Wars of the Roses, a building from Sarissa that I assembled the other day, and Italian Wars. I did go through Italian Wars for a few months. I think it was the end of last year, 2023, and then more Wars of the Roses. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes of Wars of the Roses figures, and they are a mixture of Yorkists, Lancastrians, lots of different lords and their retinues in there. I've got quite a few English Civil War as well, because 2 or 3 plastic PCPs, crack cons back, I did a English Civil War battle with Miller, so that's pretty much what I painted those up for. And in fact, I did a huge amount of English Civil War during lockdown. I did quite a big army there, painted up several battalions. Okay, so mostly in the big boxes we've got finished armies. Then a bit further down, really I haven't labelled these because they're kind of easy to pull out, but this is salamanders again, so another box full of salamanders. This one is, I think, some incomplete Middle Earth. Okay, everything's got something in them. Every bit of scenery here, some trees and stuff. And then in this one, oh, this has got Age of Sigmar, so there's some Blood Knights in there. Okay, can't quite see through the blue, but so that's completed. In there, I've got Baron's War, so some retinues there for Baron's War. Okay, so quite a bit of stuff for several different games. Just pull the exercise bike out of the way, some trees, and what's that? That's a bit more Baron's War as well. Okay, and then up here, got my Franco-Prussian War, Celts and Romans and Franco-Prussian War. I've got quite a lot of Franco-Prussian now. I've got another box somewhere as well, another 9 litre, probably a load more Franco-Prussian War in there as well. I'm not going to drag those down. I might do a video where I actually get everything out at some point, but I'm not going to do that now. Okay, then we've got the for zoom out a little bit, we've got the wall with all the books and everything, so all the kind of Osprey books at the top, and then all the different rule sets. Okay, this is a bit of a mess, this needs a tidy up. New Bolt Action there, played that last weekend. Okay, Wars of the Roses, Rise of Eagles, Black Powder, Hail Caesar, Sharp Practice, O Group, Warlords of Erewhon, Pike and Shot, etc, etc, loads of different stuff. Never mind the bill hooks. All right, so I do kind of buy a lot of rule sets, as we all do, of course we do. Don't always get to play all of them, however. I think somewhere there's the new there's a Hail Caesar army list for Biblical Era, because I started to think about that. And then Clash of Eagles, that's pretty good because I was obviously creating my Austrians. I did buy the new, oh here it is, I did buy the new Wars of the Roses. Just move that down there, sorry. I did buy the new Wars of the Roses supplement for Hail Caesar, and also the Romano-British Arthurian supplement as well. So yeah, so I'm going to try and add a bit more to my Wars of the Roses, although I probably shouldn't, because I've already got enough to run about 5 different battles. But it never stops, does it? Okay, so obviously once you buy a new supplement, you start buying a bit more. So what else we got? So we've got rule books, and then all my old D&D stuff, all my old different editions, D&D and role-playing games, and underneath that, loads of boxes, small. Again, these are actually really useful. They're called really useful boxes because they really are. And these just contain dice and tokens for various different games. So we've got Aeronautica there, and then all the tokens for Never Mind the Bill Hooks and for Midgard. Okay, so just really useful, keeping different dice for different, and I could just grab one of those, take it with me when I play a game. I don't have to kind of sort out all my dice and everything. So I try to be a bit organised. Bookshelf here with a few books on that I've read and probably won't read again. Okay. Punch bag. So the punch bag's quite interesting. Another attempt to get fit. Okay. Punch bag does go up a few times, and it hangs up here on this hook in the ceiling in the middle of the room. Unfortunately, when it's up, it's really hard to kind of get her through the room. You can kind of dodge round it, but it's a bit of a pain. So it comes down. When it comes down, then really it doesn't go up for a while. But I might get it up this year. Might try and get a bit fitter. Okay, here we go. You got a nice panoramic view of all the boxes. Okay, and these you know, these units really good from IKEA. Okay, fantastic in fact, and they fit perfectly. The really useful boxes. The 9 litres really go in, you know, the slots, and so do the double ones, the larger ones. And what are they called? The 9 litre double size ones. Okay, so that is all the stuff wall, and then we've got the kind of computer desk. Okay, so this is where I watch the Plastic Crap podcast, make crazy comments on Facebook, and also where I put videos together. Okay, so what I've got over here at the minute, this is kind of work in progress all the time. And with this side, so at the moment, I dropped this Austrian cannon the other day, and so I had to repair it. It fell out of a box. I started these, what are they? Yeah, Tyranids. Started these Tyranids, but I didn't get very far with them. Okay, they're really difficult to paint. Probably some of the most difficult things I've ever painted. Some Sarissa carts I put together the other day. A Land Raider that I started. Okay, you know, to get to my salamanders. And then a couple of boxes of Austrians left over from last year, basically, that I didn't get around to finishing. Got to do the hussars and add some more infantry. I may need to do that. I may not, because I've got an army already. I'm going to get it Under Eagles. Tim Richardson's Under Eagles in March. I think it's March or May. And I may need to add to that. So what I'll probably add is a few Landwehr to my Austrians, and some hussars as well. A few sprues just knocking about here. So these are some Austrians, but there's also some Wars of Roses scourers in there as well that I want to finish off. A few rule books, a few copies of Slingshot. Let's just take a quick look. Yep, good old Slingshot. Used to love this. Used to religiously buy it and read it. I've not read it for a long time, to be honest. I don't think I'm even a member of the Society of Ancients anymore, which is a bit of a shame. Okay, so carrying on left around the room. This is where I kind of do all the work really. Now this is it looks messy, but it's actually a lot tidier than I thought it was. Obligatory toilet roll for constantly wiping paintbrushes and things and any spillages. Okay, these are all boxes of bases. Okay, wooden bases. I've got lots of wooden bases. I'm constantly running out of wooden bases and needing to buy new ones. So I try and buy as many as I can, and then I've got a stock to use. This is a paint rack where you're supposed to put you know, Citadel sized paints in there, but it never gets used. I kind of take stuff out and then it all ends up on the desk, and I'm painting a lot all of the time and lots of different things, so I kind of never get to put anything away. Okay, some Austrians there. I was just trying to get an idea of how I'd base those, because I've started, and this is kind of I'll just have a sit down. This is on the painting table at the minute. Made a start on some Bavarians. So I pulled the Austrians out, the Austrian command out, so I could start working on the Bavarian command. So I've got some commanders for the Bavarian forces. So they're going to be primed pretty soon. That's a gun crew. There's the gun. Okay, again, going to be primed pretty soon. I haven't stuck that on, that would be crazy. Do that separately. Okay. And these are the other Bavarians that I've got at the moment. So I think these are Grenadiers. Let's have a quick look. No, they're Schutzen. Okay, so a few Schutzen, some Grenadiers, a command stand, a line command. These are Grenadiers. Okay, these guys, Bavarian Grenadiers, and more Schutzen at the back. They don't have bayonets. Okay, and then a load of line troops. So really, this is kind of what I'm working on at the moment. I'm going to start to work on my Bavarians, and these are all piano war games Bavarians from Lucas in Germany, and I've ordered a load more of these as well because I absolutely love them. Okay, so what am I working on for 2025 then? So I'm going to be doing the Bavarians. I'm going to finish off my early medieval Romano-British, my early Saxons, and probably I've got enough Vikings, so I didn't need to add any to that. So I've got kind of different factions for Midgard. Add a few more Wars of the Roses. Add a bit more to my 40k Salamanders army. And what else was I going to do? Add a bit more to my Wars of the Roses. What, did I say that already? Yeah, probably. Okay. So, Bavarians. So, more Napoleonics. Finish off the forces for Midgard. Add to my... Oh, bolt action. Add a few more to bolt action because I've got version 3 now. Okay, so... I've got version 3. So, I want to make sure that I've got the right... currently some of the better units for version 3. Got not quite a nice version 2 army, but apparently things like, you know, you got like heavy weapons teams and things like that now, so probably need a few more. Okay, so that is it. So it's a lovely day today. It's really kind of bright outside, but forecast snow in the UK. It's a big I live in the Midlands, so I think there's a yellow warning. I've got to drive down south tomorrow as well, as far as Stratford, so yeah, I'm not sure if that's going to happen now if it starts snowing. Okay, so all I thought I'd do then, guys, was just give you a little look around my my hobby room. Really, I'm very lucky, I would say, to have a room like this. I know a lot of people don't have a room that they can use, that they get to put all their stuff in. This used to be the garage. This is a converted garage. Okay, a few spray cans there. This is a second fridge, freezer rather, that I have to kind of, is one of my concessions that I have to have that in here. All right, and yeah, I just thought it might be interesting to you just to have a little look around the room. Little Vespa poster that I picked up in Italy last year. Every time I say last year now, what am I thinking of? Yeah, 2024. Yeah, last summer was in, I think it's, actually it might have been a Dacio, so it wouldn't have been Italy, it would have been Corsica. Yeah, so, but we did visit Italy as well, very nice. Okay, so I would love to do a bit more of my Italian wars, but I don't really play very much, so it's going to go on the back burner a little bit. But there you go. Now, I'm not going to drag everything out, unfortunately. So if you're desperate to see what's inside these boxes, I might have to do a separate video on all of these things. But if you look back through my channel and look back through all my videos, you will see everything that I have put together. So everything that's in those boxes has probably appeared on the channel at some point or another. Okay. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Hope it's been fun. And it's always good to see other people's workspaces, isn't it? And have a look at their, you know, their collections and the kind of stuff they're working on. I find it fascinating every time, you know. I feel jealous every time Dom shows us around his boot room. That's a phenomenal space, isn't it? I mean, I feel lucky, but wow, I would love to have a big shed like that in my garden. But my garden's not that big. Actually, it's big. It's probably big enough, but it would fill the entire garden. And also, my wife would never put up with it. I'm kind of lucky enough to have this as it is. Okay, right. So that is it. So have a great new year. whatever you're doing, and hopefully you'll have a very prosperous new year and a healthy new year as well. And you know, I feel lucky, I feel blessed, guys. Okay, hopefully some of you do too. And if you are struggling a bit at the moment, look after yourselves. And you know, I've always found hobbying is a good way to kind of get out of any kind of gloom that you might be in. You know, I've got a job that's fairly stressful. I'm a teacher, and so when I come home, you know, a little bit of painting will kind of help me to kind of de-stress a little bit. So yeah, so do what works for you. Painting and hobbying and modelling works for me. And have a great 2025. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.